Welcome back to another GTN unboxing. Now, how would you like it if I told you that in this box, I had something that could make you swim faster, swim more easily, and look pretty cool whilst doing it? Sounds pretty good, right? Well, it is, because this is the new RS1 Swimskin from our friends and partners of the channel, Orca. And if you haven't already got the hang of these unboxings, I'm going to be giving you the opportunity of getting your hands on one of these. I've got 4 swim skins to give away, 2 men's, 2 women's, so stay tuned until the end of this video where I'll be explaining how you can enter in for those. But for now, let's get unboxing. Well, you know a product means business when it comes in a stealthy black box like this. But first of all, let's take a look at this swim skin. And first impressions, it looks great and it feels fast, but I'll explain more on that in a moment. For now, you're probably wondering, what is a swim skin and why should you use one? And that's actually a really common question, so let me tackle that one first. So a swim skin comes in for those non-wetsuit legal swims. And whilst that may be hard to believe for some of us in certain parts of the world, how could the water ever get warm enough to make it non-wetsuit? Well, believe it or not, it does happen. Take the Ironman World Championships, for instance. It's always non-wetsuit. And for that, a lot of athletes opt for a swim skin over the top of their trisuits. But why? Well, trisuits aren't made of the most hydrophobic materials. They're designed predominantly for breathability and for comfort on the bike and run sections of your triathlon. So the idea behind a swim skin, like this one, is for it to go over the top of your trisuit and essentially create less drag through a tighter fit and by using materials that slip through the water better. So let's delve into that a little bit more. So with the Orca RS1, it is fully comprised and made up of textile materials. It's neoprene free, but those materials are more hydrophobic, meaning it repels water. So let me just demonstrate that to you. So this is achieved through Orca's HydroSkin dry water repellent coating, which they say has an absorption coefficient of 0% after 3 hours, which basically means this suit repels water all day long if 3-hour plus swims is your sort of thing. But it does also mean that this suit is going to last some good use. And whilst it doesn't maybe have the same lift that a wetsuit is going to give you, Orca do also say that this will help with buoyancy when you compare it to just wearing a trisuit, for example, which could absorb water and then potentially weigh you down. So by this not absorbing water, hopefully it will just increase your lift and buoyancy within the water. Now, I'm going to warn anyone that has never worn a swim skin before. They can be a little bit harder to get on than your normal trisuit. And they should be, because they've got a much more precise fit, and a suit like this has slight compressive properties, specifically around the core to help hold the core in a much better position. And having worn a lot of swim skins in the past, I can really vouch for that and just how valuable they are. It helps to keep your body in a really good position, specifically for swimming, something that a trisuit alone just can't do. In addition to the fit, the seams have been sealed to improve comfort, so there's no rubbing parts. And they've also got a really clean and smooth transition from one panel to the next, we can see here if you look closely. And that will improve the hydrodynamics of the suit. And whilst obviously the fit is really important, flexibility is also super important for a swim skin. So the cut and the flexibility of the suit have been done in such a way to allow good movement and freedom whilst we're swimming, whilst we're moving our arms, and whilst we're kicking our legs. Now then, I can hear what you're thinking. What about my sleeved trisuit? And that's actually a really interesting topic, because more and more athletes are wearing these sleeved and more aerodynamic trisuits for the bike. But they're not so good for your non-wetsuit swims, because straight away you're adding more material that can absorb water, and to a place that probably don't really want to be adding weight or drag, your arms. So we see athletes doing a couple of things at the moment. So athletes will either wear their trisuit, their sleeve trisuit, done up with their swim skin over the top to just help try and reduce drag where they can. or we see athletes actually pulling their sleeve trisuit down underneath their swim skin to help reduce drag further, but then they do have to obviously try and pull on a wet sleeved trisuit as they go from the swim to the bike in transition. Or we have another option for you here, a sleeved swim skin. Right, it's another RS1 Swimskin, but a sleeve version. So the idea is that you cover the sleeves of your sleeve trisuit, but with a better fitted, and most importantly, a more hydrophobic sleeve. So Orca do both the RS1 non-sleeved and the sleeve versions of this trisuit in male and female. The male come in a range from extra small up to extra, extra large, whilst the female come in extra small or a size 8 up to a large or a size 14. Now I know this is pretty obvious stuff, but a swim skin is only intended for the swim. So you should remove this as you go through transition from the swim to the bike. But to make things easier for you, Orca have done this pretty cool design on the zip here. So all you need to do is flick this zip up and then just pull on one side of the trisuit and boom, just comes undone nice and easily all the way down. Now by now you're probably pretty sold on these swim skins. I mean, anything that can make the swim faster, make it easier, is a win if you ask me. So you're probably wondering how you can get your hands on these. And I have 4 of them to give away, 2 men's and 2 women's in your choice of size. So to get your hands on those, you just need to head to the description below this video, hit that link, and then answer a little question on these swim skins. And that's it. But before you head there, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit that globe if you want to subscribe to GTN. And if you'd like to see our wetsuit versus a trisuit video, you can click just down here. If you'd like to see how to do a beach start for a triathlon, just click down here.